As I wandered out on the streets of Miami, I said to myself, this is some fancy town. I called up my partner and said, hello, Sammy. Go pack up your satchel and mosey on down.
Today, we'll be talking about the events that took place in Miami on The Truth Must Be Told. So stand by.
He's just ignorant. He doesn't know any better than to tell the truth.
It's the truth. I just want to report the truth. It'd be a nice change of pace, okay?
When in doubt, tell the truth.
And when I tried to tell the truth, they kicked me off the air.
You can't handle the truth.
And now, speaking the truth, even though it hurts, here's the host of The Truth Must Be Told, Sal Passos.
Hello and welcome to the program. I give you greetings and felicitations. So let's get on with the show. Hip, hip, hurrah, tally ho. For all you Star Trek fans out there. Okay. It's been a minute since the events in Miami have transpired, and I wanted to wait until I was able to obtain more information to discuss it with you and to bring it to your attention. I'm sure that a lot of my audience here, and thank you for all my subscribers, and don't forget to hit that like button and to smash that like button and to subscribe to the channel. We do cover some very interesting things here, and we do address some things that are not always, not always in the news or whatever. So not always prevalent, but we try to talk about biblical truth here. And don't forget, if you don't find me here for some reason, you can get me at spassos1 on rumble.com, because we don't know what YouTube algorithm is going to do. So the other portion of this video will be on rumble.com, also on anchor.fm or whatever podcast you want to listen to. We're on there. Just look for The Truth Must Be Told, or my name is Sal Passos. You'll find me in there somewhere. Anyway, Miami, in case you didn't know what was going on, there were a couple of weeks ago, 3 weeks ago now, the police were called to a mall in Miami. Reportedly, the cover story, or the main story, was that there were teenagers running around with fireworks and popping off these fireworks, and it was causing a ruckus. There were about 50 teenagers, but the police response, I thought, was a little much. So do a lot of other people. There was over 200 police officers that arrived at the scene there. And there were reports of 10-foot aliens or 10-foot beings walking around in the mall. In fact, it was reported that some people there even shot at them, which is possible because it's a free carry state in Florida. So that could be the possibility. They said they arrested 4 people and whatever. And there's a lot of speculation out there, and I'm not here to feed into a conspiracy theory. I just see that it's very interesting that there are more and more of these reports, supernatural reports, coming out. And whether you believe that there were 10-foot aliens there, that the power went out and the airport was shut down, and or whatever, you got to make your own conclusions on that. I'm not going to draw any. All I know is that it doesn't surprise me. The events of supernatural sightings is growing more and more We see it more and more in the news, and not just in the news, but on things like YouTube and Reddit and other places. There are tons of stories out there of people that see these everything from Bigfoot to UFOs to aliens, dogmen, skinwalkers, all kinds of things out there, and they're being reported, and the people are coming forward and saying they're seeing these things. UFOs are acknowledged now by the U.S. government as being real. If you caught the hearing in the government a few months back, they admitted they have non-human biologics. What are they looking at here? I don't know. There is some speculation that the Greys are actually biological suits that are being worn by demons. Demons don't have a body of their own. Fallen angels can appear as anything they want. Demons don't. Demons are disembodied spirits of the Nephilim. This has been a belief it lasted throughout even Jesus's day, that there were that demonic activity, evil spirits, are the disembodied spirits of the Nephilim. And I'm going to get into that in a little while. I mean, look at these searches. Look at let me bring over to the screen here. Look at the searches. Ghosts appearing, demons, people being attacked by demonic forces. And then if you go over to any YouTube channel, tons of them saying, well, that they've seen things on camera. Things are being spotted in the woods. This guy here, on What Lurks Beneath, he tells stories of people who have seen demonic things in the parks, and the National Park Service is being very quiet about it. That doesn't surprise me at all. It doesn't surprise me at all. The government would be quiet about it. It's some things which may be obviously fake. Obviously, there could be, but there are videos being caught, and we see these creatures that they're popping up out of nowhere, and people are being scared by them. I mean, look at this. It's beware the hook man, things found in the woods. Okay. Do I think that they're Mothman and all this other stuff, Bigfoot and everything? Yeah. I mean, this could be demonic activity. Bigfoot could be a leftover of the Nephilim that are around. But it's this host's opinion. Okay, I'm not trying to say, okay, so Sal, you believe in Bigfoot? Well, to a degree, yeah. I think it's a possibility people have seen these things. If you've ever seen them, you can comment below or email me. I'll keep your name private on it. But there are a lot of crazy things out there. This host himself has seen a UFO when I was about 11 years old. I know now that it's demonic. I didn't know it then, but I saw one. And you go back, and there's a show I did on the paranormal where I explain it. I'm not going to rehash it here. But I think that we're seeing a resurgence of these things. Now, Jesus told us, now why do I think, I think that we're coming close to the rapture of the church. Now, Jesus said this. He said that in Matthew 24, verse 37, he said, as it was in the days of Noah, so it will be at the coming of the Son of Man. Now, what was happening on the time before the flood? Now, Jesus told us that they were marrying, giving in marriage, and eating and drinking and doing all these things, and did not know anything until the flood took them away. But if you go back to my studies, I believe it's episode 62, 58, or whatever, a while ago, it's a couple of years back, I did 3 episodes on the days of Noah. And I discussed the events before the flood, the rise in technology, false religions, travel, etc. There was by comparison to what's happening today, it's scary. But the one thing that I didn't address at the time because I wasn't up on it, but now I am a little more, I don't want to say enlightened, but a little more informed of what took place. Because if you look at Genesis 6, well, first of all, let's talk about Genesis 3:15. It's a seed war. God said, I'll put enmity between you and the woman, between her seed and your seed. He's talking to Satan. And I believe it was the pre-incarnate Jesus that was talking to Satan, but that's another theory which we can discuss another time. But does a woman have a seed? No, the seed comes from man. So when it talks about between your seed and her seed, that seed is capitalized. Her seed is capitalized, referring to the coming of the Messiah. So there was a war declared, a seed war declared, and Satan decided that, hey, I'm not going to let this kid crush my head. I'm going to do something about this. So it looks like he decided to corrupt the gene pool. So the seed wouldn't be born a human. He understood that even then. It says, and it came to pass when men will multiply on the face of the earth, this is Genesis 6, that daughters were also born unto them. And the sons of God saw the daughters of men, and that they were fair, and they took from them wives which they chose. And the Lord said, my spirit shall not always strive with man, for he is also flesh, and yet his days shall be 120 years. There were giants in the earth in those days, and also after that, when the sons of God came into the daughters of men, and they bare children to them. The same became mighty men, which were of old, men of renown. So we see here in Genesis 6, verse 4, that in most translations they say giants, but there's also the word is that there is actually Nephilim. And the Nephilim were on the earth before the flood and also afterwards. Now, I think there was an incursion of I think personally there was an incursion of the fallen angels after the flood as well as before the flood. But when it refers to the sons of God, a lot of people, Augustine, and we're going to talk to him, we're going to come back to Calvin this week. We're going to talk about the history and Augustine, how corrupt he was. They didn't think that the term sons of God meant angels. It was a disgusting thought for them to think that angels were having sex with humans. Well, B'nai Elohim in the Hebrew, it always refers to angels in all of its uses. Okay, it's not the sons of Seth intermarrying with the daughters of Cain. It is B'nai Elohim, which means angels, the sons of God. Now, each of these refers to angels. Angels had sex with human women and produced human hybrids. That's why it says they were on the earth in those days and also afterwards, and they were doing all of these evil things. And God saw that their deeds were evil. Not only that, they were corrupting the earth. If you look at Enoch talks about this. Now, Enoch is not a canonical book. I don't say it is, but it was held in Jewish literature. Is history. We can look at things historically and say, yeah, this explains what's happening here. The book of Enoch explains the angels that came down, traded technology, and essentially took these women, and they were born Nephilim unto them. So when we see things like these temples and all of these big things that are out there, and so precise cutting and how they move these big stones, if you got guys that are 10, 15, 20 feet tall, yeah, they shouldn't have any problem with a few of them moving some rocks. And also technology in that day was, we tend to think that they didn't have it. And they did send the Incas used copper chisels to chisel these stones. They're andesite stones. They can't be cut with a copper chisel. They tried it with copper chisels to cut andesite stone. After a few bangs, the the chisels went dull. They began to bend. You can't cut andesite stone. It's the next hardest thing to a diamond. So what we see is, I believe, Nephilim creations and pre-Adamic flood and fallen angel technology. I'd put it that way. Now, if you want to know more about that, I suggest two people to watch is L.A. Marzulli and Chuck Misler. They both discuss this. If you wanted to get into more, is how they showed up after the flood. There's a lot of speculation on that. A lot of preachers don't even want to discuss the fact that the angelic hosts could have tried to repopulate the earth with these Nephilim. Joshua and Caleb saw them. It said when they went to this tribe, these tribes were Nephilim. And they said, oh, we're like grasshoppers in their sight. They're so big, and we're small compared to them. And they were afraid to go into the promised land because of that. And I think, and I know that's why, if you look at all of the tribes that Joshua was commanded to destroy and wipe them out, then all of a sudden now this makes sense. Genesis 6 makes sense. If there were Nephilim afterwards, God tells them to go destroy them, men, women, children, and animals. Because these Nephilim were doing vile things with animals too. Enoch talks about that. James, Jude, and Peter talk about that these people have, these Nephilim, these fallen angels, left their first estate, their first abode, and they, went after strange flesh. So yeah, it's not only talking about the Sodom and Gomorrah thing, it's also talking about them copulating with animals and things like that, which could explain why we have a lot of weird things out there today. But we're seeing an increase in demonic activity all over the place, all over the world. We're seeing it more in America here too. And why? Why are we seeing this? I believe it's because God is removing his hand from this country. I think we have reached a point where God says, okay, you don't want me there. You want to be on your own. We've got parents. Look what's happening today. Parents are killing children. Children are killing parents. Look at the disrespect. You can go on any of these places on YouTube and see people disrespecting judges. They disrespect authority. Scripture talks about this. They're going to be disrespectful to authority, not listening to their parents. All these things are going to transpire. All of this stuff. The hearts of many will wax cold. People would rather videotape somebody getting hit. Watched the video the other day, and somebody mentioned people who do good things, like myself on YouTube, who produce good things. We don't get many followers. So why is that? Why do the false teachers get all of these followers? Because they're tickling itching ears. Also, people on TikTok are showing themselves smiling at the camera, and they get millions of views for just doing stupid things. I thought about doing stupid with me taking my false teeth out. Maybe I can make some money that way. But it gets ridiculous. People are looking at the absurd more than they're looking for truth. When you look for truth, you tend to stand alone. People don't want to hear you. So what are your thoughts? Put down in the comment below. Do you think these were demonic beings? Do you think they were aliens? Do you think we're seeing an increase in demonic activity? Don't mock it, because I do believe that these people are seeing something. Not necessarily just the ones in Miami, but all over the world. People are seeing something. 2 Peter chapter 3, verse 4 says, they will say, where is this coming that he promised? Ever since our ancestors died, everything goes on since the beginning of the creation. People mock. Yeah, he's coming back soon. Jesus is coming back soon. I hope you're ready. If you have any questions, comments, you can email me at thetruthmustbetold93, gmail.com. And otherwise, I will see you next time where we'll pick up our study again on Calvinism, another false teaching. All right, God bless. We'll see you soon. Take care.